Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will see the lab section for all the lessons that we have seen in the previous video. So module 3, working with the Windows PowerShell pipeline. So in this lab module, we will see there will be 4 labs, and in lab A we will see using the pipeline how we can sort, select and display the data. And in lab B we can see the filtering objects, and in lab C we will see how we can enumerating the objects, and in lab D we will see the sending output to a file. So lab A, selecting, sorting and displaying data. So in this lab exercise, we will see how we can display the current day of the year, and then we'll see how we can display information about the installed hotfixes, and then we'll see display a list of available scopes from the DHCP server, and then we'll see how we can list the enabled the Windows Firewall rules, and then we'll sort the list of network neighbors, and then we'll see the information from the DNS name resolution cache. So we'll just open the PowerShell. So you can type PowerSH and just open the PowerShell, run as administrator mode. So first we can see list commands containing date. So if we are not sure about what command we can use to get the date, we can just use the help command. So with the help of help command, we will find out the exact command that we can use for the date. So if we can use the wildcard and date, so this will list all the properties that so we can get the exact command that can be used for the date. So if you notice get dash date, so this is the actual command we will be using to get the date. So we can also use the get dash command instead of help to get the same output. Okay, so this is the command name and this is a commandlet. Okay, so to get the member of the get date, we can use this get dash member command. Get dash date, get dash member. So with this command, we can see all the list of properties that get dash command will be using. So from this property, we will use day of year to find out the day of the year. Okay, so get dash date. I'll be using the select dash object. You can also use the alias select and the property name day of year. Okay, which is 312. So we can also format this output using format list and format wide. So by default, it produced the output in the format table, which is FT. So we can use the FL as the alias for the format list to display in this format. And next we'll see a list commands containing hotfix. So similarly, we can use get dash command hotfix to find out the command can be used for the hotfix. So here we can notice get dash hotfix, that is the actual command for the hotfix. So we can start with get dash hotfix. So if we are not sure what are the properties this command is having, for that we can use the get dash member command. So this would list all the properties can be used for the get dash hotfix command. So these are the properties we can see: hotfix ID, install date, and who has installed it, and the name, and when it has got installed. So we can use these properties based on our requirement. So let us see an example. Get hotfix. Select object. So I'm going to use the property hotfix ID and installed on, and then installed by. Okay, so this is the KB of the hotfix ID and the date when it got installed, and who has installed. So it will list the user. So in this case, it is installed by the system. So to find out how old this hotfix ID, so when it got installed, we got the date. So if you wanted to get the age of this hotfix, we can use this following command: get hotfix. Use the select filter, property hotfix ID, and I'll be using the hash table here, and in the script block I'm mentioning the name. So N is the alias for the name or label, hotfix age, and E is called expression. So I'll be using this expression name, new, time span, start, and the built-in variable name called the PS item. Using the installed on date. So it will calculate the days. And installed by. Okay, so this hotfix ID is 1629 days old, and which is installed by the system. So next we'll see the command that would list the DHCP scope. So to get the command, we can use help or get command. So using help, we can find out the command that can be used to get the DHCP server scope. So here I'll be using get DHCP server v4 scope. So this is the command. Help DHCP server scope, and let's see what are the properties we can use this for this command. So using the show window, we will get all these properties in the GUI mode. Similarly, like we have seen for get dash member. So here we can see all the list of parameters that can be used for this DHCP server v4 scope command. So here we'll be using the computer name, the scope ID. So all these are all the parameter. Get dash DHCP server v4 scope and the parameter computer name dash gc1. Okay, so it provides the scope ID and the subnet mask name, the domain name and the state and the range and the lease duration. So by default it will be 8 days. So next we can just get the scope ID, subnet mask and the name. So using the select command, we can just select the required the parameter, which is scope ID, subnet mask and name. Select and mention the property that we need to select. Scope ID, subnet mask, name. So we can use the formatting using format list that would produce the output in the list format. So next we'll see the command that's containing help rule. So from here we can find out get dash net firewall rule. Okay, so this is the rename, and so this is get dash net firewall rule. So using this we can get the firewall rules. Okay, so it lists all the firewall rules here. So let us see it in the GUI window. Help get dash net firewall rule show window. So here we can see all the parameters as well that can be used for this command. So from this we will be using the enabled parameter, so that would list all the firewall rule that has enabled. Get dash net firewall rule using the property enabled, which is true. Okay, so if I wanted to produce this output in the format table, can just use the pipe format table. So this would give the output in the table format. Okay, so next we'll get firewall rules grouped by profile. Get dash net firewall rule enabled true and select the property which is display name on the profile direction action and sort this output using the property name called profile. Display name, and we can use the group by filter, format it in a table format, and we can group by using the profile. Okay, so we are grouping this output using the profile, and then we can list commands containing neighbor. So using the help command, we can find the actual command for the neighbor, which is okay. So we see only remove dash net neighbor. Neighbor. Yeah, so here we could see get dash net neighbor command. So let us find out what are the properties this command has. So we can use get dash member. We can also use the GUI format using show window command. Okay, so here we can find out the description and the prop parameters. Okay, so these are the parameters. So let us run get dash net neighbor command. Okay, so this is the output that produce get dash net neighbor. So we'll be using sort to sort using the state. Using the property name called state. So if you look at the previous command, just get dash net neighbor, we see the state which is shows permanent and unreachable. So but in the next command we are sorting this output using the state. So first it shows unreachable and stale, then permanent state. Okay, next we will sort a result by state and format. So from this we will pipe this output to select property name called IP address and the state, and will format. We can use the FW to get the output on the format wide, and we can use group by to group this output using the state. Okay, we can also mention auto size. Okay, so from this output we are grouping the output using the state. So first it will produce unreachable and its value, then stale and permanent. So the output we are grouping using the state in this command. So next we will test connection to the computer name called LUN-DC1. Okay, so let's enter test dash net connection and the computer name. Okay, looks like I have entered the wrong DNS name. Okay, so the ping succeed says true. And similarly, we can also test the client machine, which is CL1, and it produced the output says ping succeed, which is true. So next we'll use the command that can list commands containing cache. Okay, so we can find out all the commands that containing cache. Okay, so these are the commands containing cache. So from this we can pick up like what command we need. So we'll be using get dash DNS client cache. Okay, I'm just copying this. Can paste it. Okay, so this is DNS server cache. Let's use the client cache. Since the DNS not running in this machine, will not get any output. Okay, so these are the cache that this client machine has. Okay, next we'll get select object and sort DNS cache. So let us see how we can sort this output of the DNS client cache. So from this output, we can select the name, type, time to live, and then we'll sort this output using name, and we can format the output using format list. Okay, so this is the name and type and the detail value. So that's it in this video, and we will see the lab B in the next video. Thank you.